All right, friends, we're going to go through this part now, which is going to cover company tax. All right, so this part we're going to have about 12, all right, 12 stimulus measure and exemption for us to understand how this budget 2021 has introduced some of the new measures, right, some of the new reliefs, and including exemption for us to actually, I would say, help us to grow our business. All right, so I'm going to touch on these incentives or some of these measures, and including some of the exemption orders. Propose is the finance bill. Okay, then of course we're going to need that parliament to approve, and we're going to see the details, all right, the details of it, because at this stage we are only receiving the announcement and some of the guidelines. So we're going to wait for wait for some of these detailed, I would say, operational guidelines and some of the effective dates that are going to come by over the next few weeks. All right, okay, so let's go through the first one. All right, I'm sure everyone is very concerned about the COVID virus pandemic. All right, so this year, our budget has actually addressed some of these issues. So we can see that currently some of these manufacturer of the pharmaceutical product, they're actually eligible to apply for the pioneer status, okay, or the investment tax allowances, okay, under the PIA, all right, we call it the Promotion of Investments Act 1986, all right, as well as some of these bio-nexus status under the Malaysian Bioeconomy Development Corporation, which is due, all right, which is due and expire this year actually. So this year's budget 2021 actually, our Prime Minister, okay, has announced as there's an extension, okay, there's an extension of a I would say tax reliefs or preferential tax rate for manufacturer of pharmaceutical product, including vaccine. All right, vaccine. Of course, when you see vaccine, you definitely will think of COVID-19. All right, so this tax incentive, okay, is for the application to be received by the Ministry of International Trade and MITI. All right, from 7th of November, okay, 2020 until 31st of December 2022. All right, so this is another good news. All right, and of course, the preferential tax rate is of 0 to 10% for the first 10 years. All right, and the subsequent 10 years, the tax rate will be, of course, at a lower rate of 10% as well. All right, so this is I would say a case-by-case application with MITI, and before we get our I would say preferential tax rate for the manufacturer on pharmaceutical products. All right, and you can see on the left. All right, you can see on the left there is this news that Malaysia may get the Chinese COVID vaccine, all right, by December. Okay, that will probably some sort of payment made, all right, to get this vaccine from actually from our China manufacturer, and hopefully this is the first of many imports of this vaccine, all right, to help us to get our I would say the solution, all right, to fend off this this COVID-19 I would say infection or rather spreading to more people, right? Okay, so this is the first one, and of course we can see that such an announcement, all right, has positive impact to the manufacturer, and is encouraging them to invest and probably operate in Malaysia. So we are not only encouraging the local players, but we are also inviting international players to come in, all right, to help us, or probably to actually to set up their plant, okay, to help us to avoid expensive imports that we're going to incur, all right. And of course, by doing that, we're going to create more jobs, all right. We're going to create more jobs locally, all right. So this is the first incentive, first I would say announcement for budget 2021. Okay, the second one. Okay, the second one we can go through is the Global Trading Center. Okay, this is a new one. All right, so there's a new tax incentive for the establishment of a global trading center, okay, at a concessionary rate of 10% for 5 years, all right, and it is renewable for another 5 years, all right. So this is 5 plus 5, all right. So this is basically, we can actually apply this from the 1st of Jan, okay, 2021 until 31st December 2022. So from this news, when I saw this, I immediately think of Alibaba, okay, and because I think we just had our Double 11, all right, our shopping. We call that Carnival, all right, 双十一, right, Double 11, all right, to actually go in line with this concept of a global trading center. So you can see that government actually plans to introduce this because of the, I would say, regional or global competitive, I would say, challenges. Because I'm going to share with you some other statistics on this area before we actually move on to the details. Okay, so the next one, we can see that currently, we do have some sort of a similar global incentive for a trading, all right, program, but it is based in Labuan, all right, under our Financial Service Authority Act, all right. So this is another existing measure, but there's a big but, okay, and it's only available to commodities companies, all right, which is example like petroleum, chemicals and agriculture products. So this is the existing one, all right. So I must say the new incentive actually help us to extend this, all right, to more industry, all right, especially our high tech, e-commerce, all right, players, all right. So let's look at the next one, and this is another slide here just to share. Okay, in Singapore, we have a program called the Global Trader Program already, all right, for a couple of years, many years already, and they actually has, they have actually invited a lot of international players to establish a regional trading headquarters in Singapore. So based on that, all right, our government recognized, okay, this is I would say a competitive advantage, all right, in Singapore over many other countries. So we need to catch up. Okay, we need to catch up with this. So this year, we're gonna introduce this program, because in Singapore there's this preferential tax rate which is introduced to this program and help them to actually getting a lower rate at 5 to 10%, all right, in our neighboring country. So we recognize this as a opportunity, okay, not just challenge, but an opportunity to attract the similar player to Malaysia, all right. So we can see that the new incentive, we call it the Global Trading Center tax incentive, is actually moving to attract global, all right, global multinational companies to set up their regional trading hub in Malaysia. So this is actually timely and truly trying to catch up with the regional investment attractiveness as well as a competitiveness. All right, so hopefully this is going to be welcome by more investors and hopefully make good of our, our good environment and our stability, our government and political scene. Okay, so this is one of those things, and of course we can look at this as this is what we call Chai Niao. Chai Niao is actually under Alibaba. All right, you can see that the parcel, I'm not sure whether is your parcel among them. Okay, because Double 11 just passed. All right, so this is something that we're gonna bear in mind. This is a little bit on this Chai Niao's initiative set up. So we can see that this is the recent news that I'm going to share with you all. All right, the Malaysian airports and Alibaba announced the operation commencement of Chai Niao Aero Police EWTP hub in Malaysia. All right, so this is going to help. This is going to help us. Help us in what? It's going to help us in getting more and more e-commerce logistic hub to Malaysia. So this plan actually come in time for this, and hopefully more players are coming to Malaysia to set up and create more jobs. Okay, so you can see that this is a picture. All right, it's amazing. Okay, it covers about I would say 10 kilometers times 10 kilometers. All right, the entire area of the this free trade zone, digital free trade zone. So this is one of those initiatives, okay, which is already set up, okay, near KLIA 2. All right, and this is another slide. You can see that this is a warehouse, all right, the huge warehouse. This is interesting. You can see some of this, of course, online. You can search that through YouTube. You can see some of the, we call that the robot, small little robot that's helping us to shift around all these goods during the, we call it the logistic operation. Okay, so this is a bird eye view of the one of the facilities that we're going to see that coming through in months to come, and probably more players will come in as well. Okay. So Jack Ma opens, this is 2017 news. So Jack Ma opens the digital free trade zone. We call it the DFTZ, all right, which is going to be one of the largest, okay, outside China, all right, and it's going to create about 60,000 jobs by 2025. Okay, this is going to be very exciting as well. Okay, you can see that from this phase 1, 2, 3, all right, during the early years of we call it the Subang Airport area. Then we have KLIA. During 1998 and KLIA 2, 2014, and then we move on to the current KLIA Aeropolis. You can see the entire blueprint here, and you can see the next slide is that it's going to be housing 140 million passenger per annum. All right, and the cargo volume is going to increase up to 3.5 million tons. And that is really exciting to hear that. Okay, so we're going to see more of this coming in. Okay, next, we're going to see that this is going to create a lot of jobs. Okay, create a lot of jobs. That's why when I see this news, I feel very excited, and hopefully this will help us to spearhead, okay, our e-commerce digital I would say transformation for some of our SME. Okay, so please make good of this and explore them more and see how they can help us to reduce our cost of storage, our cost of transportation. All right, and some of these issues that is going to help us in terms of cutting costs and be more competitive. All right, okay. Right, the next slide, you can see that this is phase 1, 2, and 3. All right, phase 1, 2, and this is interesting to see that the future expansion plan is moving on and is moving to the next level. All right, so this is something that we like to share, and I make some research on this as well. So next we're going to look at the relaxation of tax incentive for Principal Hub. All right, so this is something that together with the Global Trade Center, okay, this is another one that come hand in hand. Because previously, when we talk about Principal Hub, is only for the big boys. All right, it's going to be for the larger player. All right, and this year we see some adjustment to this. All right, there will be a relaxed condition. All right, for a Principal Hub operators. Okay, similarly, this is to attract, all right, multinational operators to Malaysia. And it's going to be another extension. Okay, up to 31st December 2022. All right, so these are some of the information that I'm going to share here, but I'm going to go through one by one. I just want to highlight, this is a interesting initiative, but they are aiming for the big boys. But this year, our government understood that we need more players to come in. All right, we need more players to participate. So some of this condition is going to be relaxed. All right, especially like the labor requirement. All right, the investment requirement. So we're going to see more of these details coming up, and we'll keep everyone up to date on this. All right, okay, next one. All right, so the fourth one will be the value-added services or value-added activities. All right, which previously we can see that the exemption on the I would say the sales tax or the import duties. All right, they are actually only up to a 10% content. All right, but this year we're going to increase them to 40%. All right, to 40% to 40. So these are some of those incentives that we can see and helping us to be staying more competitive in the market. All right, so we can see that these are some of the we call that the definition. All right, of a value-added services or value-added activities. Okay, such as R&D. All right, product design, marketing. Okay, for our international procurement center. All right, distribution for the regional distribution center, QC. All right, quality control, testing, commissioning. Okay, labeling, packaging, and repackaging. All right, these are some of those non-manufacturing, I would say, value-added services or activities. And then the next one will be the remanufacturing and repairing. All right, and this is also another value-add services activities, and supply chain management, procurement, together with support solutions. So these are the example, all right, of the value-added services that we can do. So from next year onwards, we're going to see that the requirement, or rather the restriction of 10% is going to improve to 40%. So more of this is available means we will probably be seeing more players coming in, all right, to hopefully make good of this incentive to create more jobs and put our local players more competitive. So in order to do that, hopefully the implementation part could be more effective, and more details should be announced soon. All right, so you keep that in mind. Okay, let's look at number 5. Number 5 will be reallocation of businesses to Malaysia. All right, so previously, these are only for the selected manufacturing companies. Okay, and we can see that there's some challenges here. All right, so our government recognized that as well. All right, and this is actually extended. All right, extended another year. All right, extended another year to when? To 31st December 2022. All right, and the scope of tax incentive will be extended so that we can get more, I would say, service sector, all right, to enjoy a tax rate of 0 or to 10% for a period of 10 years. Okay, so the application is for 2 years to come. Okay, but the tax, we call it the relief, will be for a period of 10 years. Okay, so the reallocation actually helps. Reallocation actually helps to put in more companies, or rather to attract more of this reallocation of company to Malaysia. Like for example, we have this US and the China trade war, right? We have all these 25% custom duties and taxes. Okay, when China wanted to export to US. So there are some companies that would like to reallocate, all right, to relocate their operation to where? To outside China. All right, not only in China, the Japanese, for even Korea, they are also looking for venue outside their own countries and looking for places like Malaysia. So we would like that to happen. All right, we would like that to attract this so-called the reallocation initiative to be in, so that we can put good in this situation or this trend to attract some of these players to Malaysia and create more jobs and putting Malaysian economy back to track. All right. Okay. Right. The next one. So extending to that, this is some of the reading that you can do. I'm just going to stop here for about 2-3 seconds before I move on to the next slide. Okay, these are all the reading that you can do. All right. So this is the extension of period and expanded to companies in the selective, I would say, services. Okay, not only on manufacturing, but companies in the like research and also cloud computing. All right, cloud computing. These are all the high-tech stuff. All right, all the IR 4.0 digitalization technology sector. All right, which I think this is going to be very exciting for some of our I would say cloud computing companies. All right, and hopefully this will spearhead our digitalization programs. All right, for more and more SME, including SME as well. Okay, all right, next one. Okay, from there we can see that the list on the right hand side, which is the services which is encouraged to make good of this reallocation program. Okay, so for example, those technology solution. All right, some of the infrastructure for cloud accounting, cloud computing. Okay, including R&D, design, development activities, medical devices like testing laboratories and clinical trials, all that. So these are all the high-tech 4.0 kind of technology or kind of industry. All right, of course, end of the day, this has to go through the MIDA, MITI, and MOF. All right, so we're going to wait for more information on how this will work. All right, okay, next, number 6. So number 6 will be more on the construction sector. All right, so just now we talked about logistics. Okay, we talk about digitalization. We talk about cloud computing. Talk about the IT stuff. All right, so now we talk about the industrial sector. Okay, this is about IBS. All right, industrialized building system. Okay, you can see that this is actually a precast concrete system. Okay, which is going to save a lot of labor. All right, as we know, recently we have a lot of these labor issues. All right, we're going to have a lot of these foreign workers kind of issues. So basically, this is going to help us to reduce the reliance on foreign laborers. Okay, so let's look at this. You can see from picture, this is an industrialized building system. Okay, whereby buildings are being constructed quite, I would say, efficiently. All right, I would say using a shorter time to build. You can see that all this. And we see that there's this income tax exemption of between 70% to 100%, okay, for a period of 5 years, right? For this type of we call that the activities, all right. And then second, we may also see that there will be investment tax allowances of 60% on the qualifying capital expenditure, okay, for 5 years, all right. So beginning of this. This is going to be available, okay, to set off against 70 to 100% of a statutory income for each Y year, okay, for each YA. All right, so this is interesting to see that how many of us, okay, not only SME, all right, if not only the large companies, but SME are able to make good of this, all right. And I must say, this is an innovative project. It's an innovative infra technology, all right, to help us to speed up, okay, to speed up the process of building, to cut short the reliance on labor, all right. So this is actually in line with the government policy, all right, to reduce the number of foreign workers in Malaysia, all right. So this is another measure that the government is looking forward to, all right. So the application, okay, the application will be made to MIDA, okay, between 2021 to 2025, a period of 5 years. All right, so this is going to be good. This is going to be good. All right, so number 7, let's look at this. Economic development regions, all right, EDR. Okay, so there's existing tax incentive for a few EDRs, but this is actually to address to East Coast Economic Region, Iskandar Development Region, and Sabah Development Corridors. Okay, and will be extended, okay, till 2022. All right, so this is the 3 specific development regions that was mentioned in the budget. All right, so how about the others? Okay, let's look at what are the others corridors, what are the others economic corridors that is in place. So you can see from this picture, we have the northern, the Uttara corridor, Uttara, and we have the Sarawak, okay, score, which is the corridors of renewable energy. All right, so this is the other 2 which was not mentioned. So so we may see some other incentive coming in, or maybe not. All right, so we shall see. All right, but of course this round we see Iskandar is mentioned, Sabah is mentioned, and East Coast is mentioned. All right, so we shall see the other 2 whether will they get their their fair share of this stimulus plan. All right, okay, next let's look at number 8. Okay, next one we are looking into Islamic financing. All right, Islamic financing under the Green Suku grant. All right, and it is actually under the SRI, the Sustainable and Responsible Investment Product and Bonds. All right, okay, and this is actually another financing vehicles, okay, which is going to be monitored and approved by SC, which is the Security Commission in Malaysia. Okay, and of course the exemption on certain costs of reviewing, costs of application, and cost of listing or cost of issuing, okay, actually extended, will be I would say extended to 2025. All right, this is going to be another good news. All right, so this is hopefully it's going to help us to build more awareness about saving the earth, okay, about issuing bonds, okay, providing financing options for industry that are actually pro environmental friendly, okay, pro protecting the earth, and pro energy saving. All right, we call it the energy renewable kind of technology. Okay, so these are some of the bonds that is available. And Malaysia, okay, Malaysia is proud. Okay, we are proud that because we are the first to pioneer, okay, we call it the green bonds. All right, the green bonds, the social bond, and the sustainability bond under the Islamic finance or Islamic banking, okay, kind of system. All right, so this is something that we should be proud of, that we are one of those pioneer, I would say, countries that are looking into this. All right, so this year the budget is looking into subsidizing 90% of the review costs, okay, faced by the issuer, okay, up to the maximum of 300,000 ringgit. All right, and this scheme is actually open, okay, not only for domestic but of course to foreign issuers. So this is going to be another exciting, I would say, incentive, all right, for us to look at. But of course, Malaysia is not the only country, okay, that issues such bond. You can see that Hong Kong and Singapore has a similar product as well. All right, okay. Then the next slide, we can see that some of these Sri Suku grant, okay, or rather this incentive, they are actually covering more on the solar technology. All right, because these are some of the local players like SolarVest, which is listed recently. Okay, they are very focused on this area. Okay, you can see that the next slide, you can see that this is one of the projects that's been introduced. That you can see that they are collecting all this solar energy. All right, turning them into renewable energy for usage. All right. Okay, so the next one, you can see that this is one of the sample. All right, this is one of the sample for that renewable energy concept, that the factory roofing is all converted or covered, okay, by all these solar cell. All right, this is one of those things. All right, thank you. So next one, next slide. Eligible street projects. Okay, eligible street projects are these. Okay, I'm going to cover like natural resources, okay, energy efficiency, all right, and of course the community development, okay, and including all the I would say the community, helping them to save energy, to make them more efficient in terms of renewing their energy usage. Okay, helping less carbon usage and all that. Okay, so this is interesting enough for us to look at. All right, so next slide. So you can see that this I would say this green bond, all right, has been in the market for a few years. All right, for these few years, and this year we can see that this total green issuance has actually reached about 271 billion. Look at that. Right, it is not small. It's not 2 billion. It's 271 billion. All right, so this is another area that we can look at, hopefully, to actually help us to understand how can we make good of this. All right, okay, number 9, non-resource based R&D product. Okay, this is another 10-year tax incentive, 10 years. All right, for non-resource based R&D. So these are actually helping to look at the commercialization of R&D product by the public research institution, and will be extended to private higher education institution. So, you know, some of our universities, the tertiary education institution, probably they are going to look into this, because there's a lot of commercial we call it players looking for, you know, school, okay, looking for institutes, education institute to do research, okay, to do certain I would say innovative product to make good of those. They're going to commercialize them. All right, so these are some of those incentives that's coming in this year, but of course the application should be made to MITI, all right, between now until 31st December 2025. All right, so this is interesting. All right, so let's look at number 10. Non-Malaysian citizen. All right, there'll be another package here that we talk about a special income tax treatment for a flat rate of 15% for a period of 5 years. Okay, for the non-Malaysian citizen that hold key position, okay, for certain strategic investment, okay, that they are relocating to Malaysia, okay, under the Penjana incentive package. Okay, this is another correct incentive to attract talent. All right, to attract talent to Malaysia, and the application should be made between now until next year, 2021, December 31st. All right, okay, so that's number 10. And of course, this is going to cover individuals, okay, who receive salary not less than 25,000. Whoa! So those are the we call it the high net worth. All right, the high talent group of individuals. Okay, so these are the condition set. Okay, so please take note of that. All right, thank you. So next, okay, 11, equity crowdfunding. All right, so equity crowdfunding is another exciting, I would say, initiative that is actually taken up here. So you must see that this is another interesting area to look at, okay, and of course we can see all these initiative moving in and out, okay, and of course end of the day, this is important for us to understand that equity crowdfunding is popular now, okay, especially those technology startups, all right, to encourage more individual investor, okay, to take part. So what is this about? So this is actually about an income tax exemption of 50%, okay, of the amount invested, okay, to be given, okay, to the investor, and this is limit to 50,000 per YA, okay, 50,000 ringgit for each year assessment. All right, so this income tax exemption applies, okay, for investment between next year 1st of January until December 31st, all right, 2023. All right, this is interesting. So I'm sure that some of us could be involved, all right, some of us could be doing some investment already. So this is another good news. All right, okay, next. And of course there are terms, okay, and condition. We call it T and C. So the investor, okay, must be made and be verified by the SC. Okay, this is we call it the check by SC, whether are we involved in any other, you know, like this anti-money laundering act kind of thing. All right, so SC is going to do the check. All right, and then of course the investor must not have any family relationship with the investee company. Okay, so this is another check. And of course, end of the day, all these scheme and all these funding platform must be approved by SC. Okay, and investment must not be exposed or either part of this within these 2 years from date of investment is made. So these are the T and C. All right, these are the term and condition. And you can see that this is a recent news, okay, announced or rather shared by our chairman of our SC, all right, Dato Said. You can see that ECF and P2P platform, okay, peer-to-peer platform in Malaysia has actually reached 240 million US dollar. Whoa, just for this year. All right, so guys, this is interesting. So please pay attention on this. and see how some of us, even SME, all right, we can look for all these ECF platform. Okay, look for some of these interesting, I would say, financing initiatives to get this financing option. Okay, not only from the bank. Okay, and this is another way to get our funding. All right, and to help us grow our business. All right, now the last one will be export of healthcare services. All right, so export of healthcare services basically is given to the value of increased export. So 100% of the increased value, all right, it can get up to 70%, all right, of this income tax exemption on the statutory income, okay, which is going to be extended again for a period of 2 years until YA 2022. All right, so you can see that Malaysian healthcare has been very widely, we call it publicized, okay, and widely promoted. Okay, so this is another thing that we can, of course, make good, because we are a global halal hub. Okay, we are a travel haven. All right, before MCO, all right, before the CMCO coming in and all that. But this is our strength. Okay, this is our advantage, and of course, the ease of communication, because we speak English, we speak Mandarin, we speak Bahasa, we speak Tamil. So these are, and of course, a lot of Chinese dialect as well. All right. So in terms of communication, we are full of colors. We are full of languages, and it is important, because any person from any part of the world that comes to Malaysia, okay, they find it easy. They find it easy to communicate. All right. So this is important to stay on the world scene. All right, in terms of the healthcare sector. All right. So you can see that this is some of the statistics. Okay, interesting enough. Okay, Malaysia has got very interesting and very, I would say, proud statistics on the travelers. All right, we call it the healthcare travel industry. Okay, so this is another good area to venture in. So our government actually recognized this. All right, and these are some of the statistics that I can just quickly show everyone here, just for your reading. All right, and we are good in this. All right, so please make good of this. And what if you are part of it? All right, what if you are part of this industry? You can make good and be able to tag on to this growth. All right, okay. So basically, on this part, okay, the next slide we're going to touch on is the shadow economy. Okay, whether are we going to look at all these tax incentive framework? Okay, so this small little part, I'm just going to wrap up on the company tax, is that government continues to look into all these shadow economy issues. All right, they are continuing looking into all these tax incentive framework, because shadow economy is one area, tax incentive is another area. So first thing first, there's a lot of tax incentive going on. Available, but not many people make good of it. Okay, and of course there are some certain tax incentive. They may be subject to certain tax audit. All right, because of the regulation, documentation, and the initiative and all that. So this is something that we need to understand. That government is trying to review all these 130 over tax incentives that's in place. All right, and of course the last one will be the tax audit. Continuous concern on shadow economy. All right, these are the I would say a very high focus, okay, and I think our England Revenue is looking into all the possible way to increase or to improve their tax collection. All right, so they are looking into all these shadow economy, I would say, issues and all that. Okay, so you can see that our shadow economy worth about 300 billion ringgit. Wow! So of course, this is going to be a very of their high concern, and they're looking into all this. Okay, so basically this is our our finance minister. All right, they're looking into all this, and I'm sure that this is interesting. Before I move on to the next area, all right, this is the company tax, all right, initiative and stimulus plan. All right, so let me just quickly move on to the next one. Thank you so much.